welcome back to another First Division preview show. Delighted to welcome Gavin Woods with myself, Keith, Ryan today as well. So what's the story, boys?
Hi, Keith.
Doing well, yeah? Sunny in
Good,
Cork, Gavin.
Sorry?
Sunny in Cork now?
Oh, yeah, it's actually beautiful, yeah. It's about 25 degrees, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's Spain. I'm getting confused.
I tell you what, we'll get into Cork and Cork City. Cork City take on Wexford FC this Friday. They had a week off, Gavin, and in that week, of course, Galway took advantage, winning 4-0 against Wexford. Cork City will obviously be looking to get back to winning ways as such, having not played last week. And it's neck and neck at the top with them and Galway. And I was just thinking to myself before we came on, Gavin, that Cork have been doing so well this season. Like, they've been absolutely brilliant, almost flawless in many ways. Yet Galway are bang level with them on the table. So you think it'll be a test in the next few weeks, actually, for Cork City, with Galway literally on their coattails?
100%, Keith. I like, and to be fair, you know, I can't criticise Cork City this year after last season. You know, they've been superb. You know, in every sense. When they haven't played well, they've picked up points. When they kind of didn't deserve it, they've picked up the points, and I think that shows their character this year. But to be fair to Galway as well, you know, they're just not leaving go. They're going to stay with them right till the end, and I can see it happening. And like, I could see it. I went down to the Cobh game there 2 weeks ago, Galway and Cobh in Comins Park, and Galway it was men against boys. You know, John Caulfield has them organised well, and you know, they're a superb team, Galway. So we're going to have to keep going to where we're going and just keep picking up as much points as we can, and just hopefully that you know that it will be there or thereabouts. But Galway are never going to leave this go anyway. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, for this game, obviously Cork today, actually Matt Healy as well signed till the end of the season, which has been a plus because he scored some cracking goals lately, hasn't he, Gavin?
Yeah, he's been I suppose best newcomer of the season. I suppose, to be fair to him, probably has been in that sense, you know, or as a loan player or whatever, like so. But he's been superb, and you know, he's kind of got on with it without looking spectacular. You know, kind of everybody, you're looking at kind of Barry Coffey, or you're looking at, you know, Gilchrist, but Matt Healy has kind of quietly gone into that midfield and just you know, very good on the ball and doesn't do anything you know, over exuberant or spectacular, you know, good passer the ball and stuff, but is well able to put the ball into the back net. Has got some lovely goals, to be fair to him.
Yeah,
so
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Keith, Wexford obviously come into this game having lost 4-0 against Galway the other week, and they'll be disappointed with that. But there is goals in the Wexford team. We've said that before, but I suppose to win the game, they're going to have to try and stop Cork City scoring goals. It's going to be a difficult task for Wexford, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, Cork this season, they've come out of the blocks a number of times, and they've killed games off before half time has come. So certainly something Wexford will have to watch. And we discussed it before, Cork have goals all over the pitch, you know, whether it be Gilchrist centre half, or, you know, the midfielders, and then the strikers, you know, Keane Murphy and Keating this season are doing really, really well. So I can't see anything else but a Cork win, and a very convincing win as well. You know, crowd behind them and stuff. So, and as Gavin said, they're going to need to keep going. They're going to need to keep the momentum going as well, because Galway won't ease up. You know, and as I discussed with you last week, I think this is going down to. I think it'll go down to goal difference eventually.
That's a big call. Big call. So you're saying Cork are going to win the game convincingly?
I think 4-0. I think 4-0 Cork City.
Big call, isn't it? Or is it, Gavin?
In terms of, sorry, Keith?
Who's going to win the game, basically?
Sorry. No, I fancy Cork City. No, geez, I fancy him. And I think, you know, the week, the previous week, what was the game before? It was a treaty, I think. City, if I'm right, the City played treaty previous, I think, was it? If it was anyway, yeah. City looked tired in that game, and you could see. I think it was treaty, yeah. And City looked tired in that game, so I think. Sorry, Athlone, Keith. My apologies.
Yeah, Athlone. I couldn't think of the top of my head. Yeah, Athlone,
yeah. But City looked tired in that game, you know, and they still came away with the 3 points. So I just think that, you know, the week's break hopefully done them the world of good.
They were lucky enough, though, Gavin, were they?
Sorry?
They were lucky enough to win in Athlone.
They were haunted. They were haunted. Sure, like, I mean, they didn't play well at all, Keith. You know, at all. Like, you know, and you know, I think that's the difference with them this year. I was saying that compared to last year, Keith, that they would have lost that game. You know, and I think that's the difference with them this year. That they were very lucky, and they were very poor as well. And to be fair to Aaron Bolger, you know, he got us out with the 3 points, got us out of jail, and he's been absolutely unbelievable the last 3 or 4 games. So, you know, I'm just touch wood that that we can pick up the 3 points on Friday night.
Is there any news on Dylan McGlade, lads? And like, where is he at in terms of his injury?
I just see there on kind of local kind of you know, social media pages that he's back in training or back doing a bit of whatever he's doing. So other than that, I don't really know.
Can't be too far away.
But the good thing as well,
training, yeah.
Yeah, and Gordon Walker's back running as well on grass, which is a great plus. You know, because he was actually in a bad season last year. He was actually superb right back. Yeah. And you know, he's been a superb sign, and they got him from UCC local Munster Senior League, so he's been fantastic. And yeah, so he's back. So at least there's some bit of positives anyway as well. You know, as well as things going well, there's a bit more kind of things are going their way. So. Yeah, Dylan McGlade, I don't know much about him, but as I said, like I've seen on social media stuff, lads, that he's back in training and stuff. So, you know.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to go for Cork City as well. It's hard to see that's not going to be convincing Cork win, so it's going to be difficult for Wexford, but then there's nothing to lose at the same time. It's also going to be difficult for...
Sorry, Keith. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my old fella that I tipped, Jack Doherty.
Of course, yeah, he might take him to Cork, Gavin, you know, as well.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll work on that now off season there, and we'll try and get him down.
You've enough good players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can work on that. We'll see how that one goes. On to Galway, they take on Athlone at home, and look, it's going to be a difficult task. Keith, I'll start with you with this one for Athlone Town. I know I said the other week that their games are kind of close, but they're just not getting results. And interesting today, Keith, I noticed that Carl Shepherd actually came out publicly. Did you see that? And he said that he and Kilduff are interested in the job. Now, that's fair enough. You'd wonder, though, what Athlone are thinking. Like, would they consider actually taking them in maybe till the end of the season and see how they go type thing? Or what kind of plan they have there? But they're the only, you know, people that have actually come out and actually stated that they're interested publicly, which is interesting. Actually, say you're interested publicly, really, isn't it? In many ways,
yeah,
it doesn't really happen.
Kilduff and Shepherd in their day, like great players, and obviously Gavin knows about both players because they play for Cork City. So, like, I mean, great players, but like Roy Keane was a great player, but he didn't end up being a good coach, you know. So it doesn't necessarily transform from being a good player into a good coach. And they haven't. I don't think they have any managerial experience, do they? Even in non-league. No. So yeah, it'd certainly be a risk for Athlone, you know. And I mean, Athlone have been there and done that. They've risked different names. I mean, they brought a heap of lads in from Latvia few years ago, didn't work out, and we all know the stories there. But I don't know. We discussed last week, Keith, Athlone, where are they actually going? What do they actually want to do? You know, they haven't got crowds going to the game, unfortunately. You know, you'd have the odd loyal fan that would go to every game, but you don't hear anything really coming out of Athlone. You know, it's a weird setup, you know, and they've a lovely little stand up there and lovely little ground, you know, but it's a pity because back in the day, Athlone like played the AC Milans of this world and stuff, but you know, I don't know. I really don't know. And you know, they've come close in some games, but other games they've been thumped, and they were obviously unlucky against Cork City a few weeks ago. But I mean, Alua missing that penalty and stuff, you know, confidence-wise, it can't be good for them. It can't be good. They've 2 points from 14 games, so like that's not very good. It's not a very good return at all.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin, Galway are like a juggernaut at the moment as well. And I suppose one of the things with Galway is, Gavin, in my opinion, Cork might have more footballers, so to speak, but we don't talk about when we do. But they have John Caulfield, and there is a John Caulfield effect, and that's no say slight in Colin Healy. Colin Healy's very early in his management career, and by the way, he's doing a very good job. But you know, with Caulfield, once he has a team motor and they're going to go the distance, and you'd wonder, we were talking about last week, if it comes to the crunch, will Galway pip Cork? We don't know. We kind of know more about Galway in that sense. We know more about John Caulfield in that sense, I would say, not Galway necessarily. And that's the thing as well. But after the 2 wins in a row, 4-0 away wins, it's very difficult to see Galway, isn't it? Not adding another win and maybe a convincing win too.
100%, Keith. You know, and that's like, as a fan of John Caulfield, that's what you'll see with him. Like, it's a winning mentality. He's been there, he's done that. You know, in Colin Healy's sense, that's where he lacked a bit of experience. But I suppose Colin has proved so far this year that he's been up to it. But like, when it comes to the crucial times like that, John Caulfield's your man. And as you said, like, just very well organized. They really impressed me, so organized and just big, powerful, strong players and very fit. And that's what John Caulfield wants. He wants somebody who'll run through a wall for you, which he was like at Cork City. With the Athlone situation, if the 2 lads come in, Kilduff and Shepherd, I suppose from that point of view, they'll probably get bums on seats, you know, because they'll bring that bit of, you know, the excitement, I suppose, if anything, to it, like, you know. So unless they might do a couple of short-term contracts there, like bring over Shawnee Maguire there and Beattie and Morrissey up for a couple of months there, you know, the old buddies of Cork City there. Bring it back up that loan there for a couple of months there. But you can't. Huh?
Could you imagine?
Yeah, imagine, yeah, Shawnee Maguire, 3-month deal with that loan, yeah. So yeah, but like you can't look past Galway. They're superb, you know, to be fair to them, like, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'd be an easy enough win again, Keith. Do you? 3-0 or something?
I'm gonna go 4-5 for this one. I just don't think Athlone up for it. And Galway, as Gavin said, and we discussed it, they're such a powerful side, and they'll just go through you. They don't care, you know. Yeah, definitely 4, maybe in 5, because they've goals from all over the pitch.
Interesting.
Stephen Walsh got some score sheet again.
Sorry, was I saying there? I don't know. When I was down in Galway or down the Cobh and Galway game, lads, geez, your man is very good on the left side for Galway. Is he? I don't know what his name is. I can't remember his name.
Young Alex Murphy.
Is it Alex Murphy? Is it kind of a small, stock? He cuts in from the left, but he's right-footed.
That's Stephen Walsh.
Jesus, he impressed me big time down in Cobh. Like,
he's physically big
quality.
As well, yeah.
He got a quality goal. Yeah. Like their left back and their left side of midfield that day, look at all due respect to Cobh.
That would have been Murphy on the left and Walsh on higher up, yeah.
Walsh, basically. Yeah, higher up, yeah. Walsh really impressed me. Very good on the ball, you know. He got a super goal. So,
Viking might get a pen out this week, Keith.
What?
Sorry?
The Viking Hurley might get a pen out this week.
He might do, yeah. We were laughing on the last show because you're taking the mickey that Hurley robbed his chance of getting a hat trick, like you might taking the penalty. But there you go. No one takes the ball off Dave Hurley. We'll move on, I suppose. We're all for big Galway wins anyway. So we'll move on to Treaty and Cobh. And Treaty obviously last night, actually a 0-0 draw with Longford. You nearly could have predicted that. I don't know why, but it was just the fact that it was, the Monday night and that as well, maybe as well. But that keeps Treaty 5th in the table on 18 points. Cobh in 8, and they're on 8 points as well. And we talked, Gavin, how Cobh put in a good performance. I think give Waterford a fright, to be fair, but they do look like a side that can score goals, but they've just started conceding goals all over the place as well. And actually, they've joined the most goals conceded this season now, along with Athlone, believe it or not. But Whitmarsh and Drynan were missing, weren't they, Keith, for that game against Waterford? I'm not sure what their story is in relation to the game on Friday against Treaty, but they're obviously generally big losses. That said, they did well without them. Treaty, they're in that position in the table, Gavin, where, they're 5th, but they're actually 7 points behind Longford and 4th. So it's a case of them trying to hang on to a playoff place. They're, 3 points out of Wexford with a game in hand. But they'll probably see this as an opportunity maybe to get the 3 points in this mild, let's say, Munster derby compared to some other ones.
Yeah, and I suppose they'll be just looking, as you said, just looking for the 3 points here. Unfortunately with Cobh, with Drynan, he split his eye opened down in Galway after 20 minutes there in that game, so he had to come off after about 20 minutes, so that's why he was missing against Waterford. O'Brien Whitmarsh came off after about 65 minutes. I think that was just a sub, just to change things up against Galway that day. So I don't know what the story, unless he picked up an injury in training. But But like when they're missing the two of them, to be fair, they've been kind of on form recently when they have been getting the ball up to them. But the problem as well with Cobh, I noticed as well, is that like with the team against Galway, they had changed. I think they made 1 or 2 changes at the back. So they seem to be having, Darren Murphy seems to have an issue with trying to figure out what's his back four, I suppose, for want of a better word, and it's probably not doing them the world of good either, like, and they're very slight, Keith, they're a very slight team. They're not, they're lacking a bit of muscle in them or something, I know that's kind of, like if you look at Conor Drynan, he's nice in the ball, silky player, but like, Jesus, like, he could do with a ball already, Breck. Like, he's very light. He's just like, but that lovely player.
Years since I had ready, like, if you put him next,
it's lovely. But like next to the Galway lads, that was the problem with Cobh. Was that that is Cobh's problem, and lovely on the ball, fit, but just very weak on the ball. But Treaty should be picking up the 3 points here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Keith, they do have firepower treaties themselves. Like the likes of Enda Curran has gotten the score sheet quite a lot lately. He's a very dangerous player, like the Jack Lynch with Christopher, players like that. You would argue maybe they're not as solid defensively, Keith, this season as you'd expect overall, Treaty, in general, though, would you? I mean, there's chances for Cobh there, I think, to score goals as well.
Yeah, more of a Weetabix man myself, Gavin, but yeah.
Bran flakes all day, every day.
Treaty, like you hit the nail on the head there. Like, I mean, they haven't really, they haven't been as solid this season at the back, and you're right, it was probably very guessable result last night against Longford 0-0. Obviously, Longford going down on Monday evening. Some of their players are part-time, and Treaty are just going through the motions. We already mentioned it. It's going to be a couple of different leagues within the one league, and they're fighting it out. They're not going to catch Waterford and Longford, so they're fighting it out with Wexford and Bray, I think, for a playoff spot, and they're miles ahead of Bray. So all they really need to do is just go through the motions for the rest of the season and pick up points where they need to, and obviously against the Corks and the Galways, preserve your energy almost. Don't be whacked 4 or 5-0, but if you get a loss, you get lost, and preserve your energy for the games against teams around you.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy Barrett will let them go through the motions. But anyway, what score are you predicting, Keith?
Treaty at home, like, it's a tough place to go. Cobh, if Whitmarsh or if Ryan Whitmarsh and Drynan are still missing, I don't think. Although Jack Larkin scored 2 goals last week, so young player. So. I don't know. I'll go 2-0 Treaty.
Gavin?
I'll go 3-2 Treaty.
Oh, that could be a humdinger. I'll go 2-1 Treaty. So we've all gone Treaty anyway. Finally then on Saturday, Longford Town entertain Waterford. And I suppose with Longford, this is an interesting game actually. There's only a point between them in the table. The way Waterford have been playing last 2 weeks, 4 wins in a row since Morris got the sack, which is typical. And Longford, they've had a couple of good results. They're hard to beat. We know that they don't concede many goals, but it's an opportunity for them to leapfrog Waterford in the table, Gavin. And Waterford will still feel in themselves that they're capable of going on a run where they might be able to catch Cork or Galway if they're slip-ups. That's what they'll think themselves. But it's an interesting game. As I said, 4 wins in a row for Waterford now. But it's a big test, I suppose, going to Longford, I think, isn't it, for Waterford?
It is, yeah, but again, it's like, I know I keep kind of repeating myself saying this, but when you have a bit of momentum in you and like you 4 wins in a row, like in your mindset, it's just, we're going here to win, nothing else. And Waterford are more than capable of going to Longford and winning the game because they are excellent from the midfield up and very good on the ball, lovely players. And I suppose, look, Longford are just hard to break down anyway, but I would be expecting Waterford to win this game. It's going to be a tight game, but I think Waterford will pip this.
Yeah, I mean, Keith, from your point of view, how do you see this? Do you think it'll be tight? I suppose Longford have to keep an eye on, particularly with the form he's in, Phoenix Patterson. Anytime he gets the ball 30 yards from goal, to be honest with you, they have to close him down very quickly because he can score from that range if he's given time and space, can't he?
Yeah, and I know Waterford stole a draw earlier on the season against Longford down the RSC. So, look, Longford seemed to have lost momentum that they gathered a few weeks ago. The two losses in a row. They lost Craven, who was a key player for them. They definitely need to keep an eye on Patterson. Britton is in the goals as well, and with Cantwell and Nolan combining at the back, they've built up a nice little partnership there. Waterford are 4 wins on the trot, and as you said, it's typical after the manager leaving, you go 4 wins on the trot, and if they can keep that up, I don't think they're going to catch. I think Cork and Galway are way out in front of anyone else. But if Waterford keep up this momentum and they get a couple more wins in a row, they'll definitely scare the life out of Cork and Galway. They'll be wondering, we need to up our game here a little bit more,
Yeah, at the same time, Waterford can be caught even in the run. I mean, 2 goals they conceded against Cobh, and I think Graydon is playing well. He's on form. We often say he's a bit up and down, but he is on form, and he can definitely cause problems to Waterford and their fullbacks, particularly maybe the man on the left-hand side of the Waterford defence. He can really cause him a lot of trouble, I think, as well. So that's an outlet that Longford will be really looking at to attack them, isn't
it? Graydon scored a good goal last week against Athlone, around the keeper, played through, very high line. It's, as it says, type of goal Graydon normally scores. I think Longford defensively, they're solid enough. They don't concede many goals, so if they can, they might even do a man marking job on Patterson. I'm not sure who'll be tasked with that. Maybe Robinson in the centre of the park might be tasked with that. I don't know. But obviously Patterson plays in the wing, so you wouldn't be wanting to put Robinson out of position. So
you're probably just hoping the fullback, if it's Elworthy or whoever that does the job in him, to be honest, in that situation. Probably.
Elworthy scored against Waterford in his 100th appearance down there. So, he's a tidy little player as well, Shane. So if he can keep Patterson, I think if they keep Patterson quiet, it's a positive result for Longford. Not so much a win, but they'll definitely get at least a draw of it. I'm going to go for probably a 1-1 draw here.
Oh, I've gone for 1-1 as well. Gavin, I think their streak will end here, Waterford.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 Waterford. I'll go 2-1 Waterford.
Oh, he's gone first, right? So Longford are definitely winning. Guys, thanks very much for coming on. We'll leave it there. Subscribe, guys, if you haven't subscribed before, hit your bell notification button and let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're a Cobh fan, let us know if Joining or Whitmarsh are back as well. It'd be great to know. Thanks, guys. Brilliant stuff.
Cheers, lads.